Hi, and welcome to the Squeaky Wheel Farm. I'm Christine, and we've been working on this project here for several weeks now. The weather's just been really difficult, and to be totally honest, it just doesn't make sense to push through on a project when you're miserable and cold, or if the weather's just not working out for you. When the spring comes and the rains come, it just gets an awful muddy mess. And it's going to be such a savings to not have to take the tractor through the field because it tears things up. What we're trying to do is take down this old fence that's been broken for a while, put in some posts, and have basically a three-sided feeder along the edge of the fence line so that he can just drop a bale and push it in. And again, not have to take a tractor or the bobcat into the pasture like we normally do in good weather.
the city streets, we began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon, we lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout.
And he's doing the lock washer and the washer and the double nut system because over time those things on the farm, they do work themselves free. So we're trying to make this structure as sturdy and stable as we possibly can, because whenever you make repairs on the farm, it just takes away time from something else.
The moonlight, summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay young forever, we'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never
So what I did is I got 3 10-foot, 1.5-inch pipes, and I think it was 8 1.25-inch pipe. And I think my total cost was $300 for those. And then I had the bolts and the washers and the nuts. I had some of those already, so I didn't have to buy a whole bunch. But I want to say I spent probably another $70 on that stuff, just because I went with the grade 5 for the bolts.
And I think railroad ties were like $10 or $15 a piece.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple $100 of lumber.
I think I figured it out to be right about $950, I think, in that ballpark. But again, I had some things of my own, so I don't remember what offset in that.
I was researching online. The panels were $800 to $1,200 a piece to buy the ones that are pre-made. Another thing I wanted to explain is that he's putting these on a slant. And the reason for that is there's been some studies done, and they've noticed that cows, when they have the bars straight up and down, they'll grab a mouthful of hay or feed and they'll back out. And then they're dropping a lot on the ground around the outside of the feeder. But they did notice that by having them slanted, that the animals are more likely to go in there, stay in there, eat their fill, and then back out. So we've noticed that with the other feeders that we bought, the hay feeders, the ones that we've purchased from the farm stores, they all had slanted bars. So we're continuing with that theme. And then also, this is quite tall. I'm about 5'7", and you can see that it's I don't know, 5.5 feet tall. And at the low point, it is probably, well, those are two by 10s, so about 20 inches off the ground. So they have a good area where they can go in there and eat. Now, I did explain in another video why we want to do this. So we don't have to go out into the field and drive around in muddy or snowy weather just to put some hay out for the animals. But I did want to let you know that we will be continuing to use the mobile round hay feeders because it's such a good way to improve the soils in our pasture. By him moving those hay rings around, he's able to move the cattle around. They'll stand around that feeder, and as I mentioned earlier, they poop and they pee and they fertilize that area. So by moving those rings around, we're able to fertilize different areas in pasture. And then there's always a little bit of residue, some hay that's left over, and that helps to rebuild the soil as well. So all good things, all reasons why we want to continue with the round bale feeders that are mobile. But this feeder is just going to be used for when the weather's bad and we really need to, not drive across the field, but also, maybe if we have a sick animal up here in the corral and just want to be able to just feed them, then that would be fine too. And yeah, Paul's just snickering because I said we. I always say we, and he says that he does most of the work. But then when I don't help him, then he always tells me how valuable I was and how important it was for me to hand him the tools or the wrenches or just whatever. And well, I get that. I know how working by yourself can be. It's always nice to have somebody with you. So it's a we. Even though I'm not physically drilling and bolting the things up, I still have a part in it. So it's a we. This is made of heavy-duty plumbing pipe. Now, we did look into just buying the panels outright. They are available in different sizes, but for one, there was no local distributor for us. We would have had to drive probably 4 or 5 hours, maybe to way down south or over to Ohio to even be able to get what we were looking for. So this is the next best thing that we've come up with. We did look into possibly welding this and putting it together, but the problem with that is if they break it and we break a weld, then we have to take the whole panel down to take it back to the shop to re-weld it. So what we've come up with is just putting a top pipe and making a solid structure down along the bottom. And then we're using nuts and bolts to drill through. So we've got solid pipe to pipe. And this is pretty darn stable. I mean, they might break some of the wood over time as it weathers, but I don't imagine that they're going to be able to bend these pipes. Not unless we get a really wild, angry animal in here. The other thing that we've done is, you'll notice that these pipes are 18 inches apart. And we did a little research. That is apparently the right width for a full-size animal to get their head and neck through, but not actually be able to crawl into the feeder. But again, some of the smaller calves are probably going to be able to get in there. So we will put a gate on the opposite side so that if they do get into the feeder, they won't be out outside the pasture and outside the fences. Now he has taken some time to put quite a bit of gravel down around here because it gets really muddy. We're on a lot of clay right here. It holds the water. It doesn't drain away very well. And when the cows come up to the feeder, they pee, they poop, they do their thing. And it just makes a real mess. So by putting a good solid base of gravel down, at least they're not going to be in a slippery mess to start. Now over time we will have to scrape away some of their manure and probably have to put more gravel down as they walk it down into the mud, but at least it gives us a base. Another thing I wanted to show you, he has made a considerably sturdy base here. He's got 2x10s on the bottom. The corner posts are actually railroad ties. And then what he's drilling into, he's got 4x6s on the top rails, which is what he's screwing into.
As the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine.
Alright, I got it.
We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Well, that's one more project off our list. Thanks for watching. Oh, and one more thing. I hope to see you again soon.